My name is Corey Leparty. I am your district membership development chair. This is creating a branding and membership campaign. You can reach me directly at pardaman@yahoo.com if you have any questions. So today you're going to come away from this session with an understanding of the importance of public image to your club's membership efforts, and you'll also learn ways for your club to use branded materials to create a club membership campaign. So let's look at what Rotary President Mark Maloney has to say about membership.
Friends and fellow Rotarians, our new strategic plan is an ambitious document laying out the framework for the Rotary we want to see in the years ahead. Its priorities are increasing our impact, expanding our reach, enhancing participant engagement, and increasing our ability to adapt. In all of these priorities, our members are key, for our members are the ones who do the work that Rotary is here for and create the experiences that make Rotary what it is. We need to grow Rotary. The stronger and more diverse our membership, the more ambitious we can be in our service, and the more attractive we will be to the kinds of women and men who will bring the most to Rotary. But a strong and diverse membership does not happen by itself, nor will it happen if our approach to membership is simply exhorting our members to invite their friends. We need to focus on membership in a way that is structural, not individual. Instead of asking, who do we know? Ask, who are we missing? What vocations, what organizations, what positions in the community do we need? And who are the people who fill those positions? Just as important, what value do we have to offer these people in our clubs? What do we need to do to help the people we attract to Rotary become truly engaged, valuable, and lifelong members? Membership is not just a priority in Rotary, it is Rotary. To grow Rotary, we need to give our membership the same attention we give to all our Rotary service, to all of the ways that Rotary connects the world.
So a strong and diverse membership does not happen by itself, nor will it happen if our approach to membership is simply to ask our members to invite their friends. I agree wholeheartedly with President Maloney. Rotary's tried that approach for years, and it just doesn't add up. The other thing is, at your next Rotary meeting, look around the room. Look at the people that are there and think, if we just invited the friends of those people, would the room change at all? Would we not just have the same age demographic, the same gender demographic, the same ethnic demographic that we currently have? If we want to grow Rotary besides the 5 people we know directly or we spend the most time with, then we do need to have a more strategic approach. So let's look at the numbers. 14% of Rotary members leave each year. It's just a statistical fact. And 70% of those who leave are going to leave for a reason that is out of our control. Now, if we retain the other 30% in our district, that means we need to attract 5 new members a year per club. And that invite our friends strategy has a self-limiting consequence. Less than 4% of our members are under the age of 40, and only 35% of the district is currently female. Now, I've heard people claim that we're reaching enough potential members. It's a retention problem, not an attraction problem. At least that's perception. But the reality is that we are only attracting about 3 to 4 new members on average per club a year. Now, that's not sustainable, as we just saw with the statistical facts. But what can we do? I mean, we're reaching all the potential Rotarians in our community, right? What do you think is our membership penetration in District 5020? So somebody asked, what is membership penetration? That would be the amount of Rotary members we have in the population of the community or the entire district of Rotary age members. So that would be adults over the age of 30. And our options were 5%, 3%, 1%, or less than 1%. It is less than 1%. On average, less than a quarter of a percentage of those people who could join Rotary have joined Rotary. So in our district, our membership penetration, saying that we've reached out to everyone who's a potential member, we've found all the potential members, seems statistically inaccurate. So maybe our biggest issue isn't retention, but community awareness. For instance, on average across the district, that less than 0.25%, if we look at it in Thurston County, for instance, there are currently more homeless people in Thurston County than there are Rotarians. So maybe our biggest issue isn't retention, but community awareness. So many of you have probably seen this graphic before. It's from a survey Rotary did of people's awareness of Rotary across the world. It shows that very few people know of Rotary other than its name. They don't know who we are, where we meet, what we do, or how they can join our clubs. So that's why we need a branded marketing effort by our clubs in order to connect the world to Rotary. So how do we go about putting together a branded marketing effort for our clubs? Well, we just heard a great presentation on club branding from Katie. So let's start to turn that into a club branded marketing plan. So the first thing your brand needs to know is, what's the current size of your membership? What is the makeup and background of your club? What has been the size of your membership in the past? How many members would it take to carry out your club goals? Do you want to target a specific demographic with your marketing? Then once you've looked at that, the next step is to make sure that your club is ready to market. And this is where Katie's information comes in handy. The first place to start was with your club website. And you want to make sure that it's in line with Rotary's branding and is set up to have the best success at attracting new members. This means making sure that it tells your club story, and it has two key elements. It needs to explain what your club does, or why somebody would want to join your club, and it needs to have info on how they join. If your club website doesn't have info on how to join, you're missing out on the opportunity to use your branding, to use your website, to use any of the materials you put out there to actually turn that into new members. So once your website's in line and ready for new members, it's time to move on to your social presence. You want to make sure that your page is properly branded. You want to make sure that you're posting regularly. And you want to look and see whether your posts are engaging and make your club look interesting. But you also want to make sure that your club's signage in line with your branding efforts. It should be clear that your online club and your in-person club are the same thing and not a bait and switch type situation. And as you can see here, this is one of our Rotary clubs here in the district. They are a club that has been around for a number of years, and they chose to make a complete branding change for their club. They not only branded the inside of their club, as you can see on the photo on the left, where they've got a club banner and the object of Rotary with the proper branding, but they also branded the outside of the building with a nice Rotary Club of Woodland sign. You also want to make sure that all of your print materials are in order. You may need materials to hand out to prospective members, depending on the efforts your campaign entails, and you'll want to make sure that all the club members are using the same messaging when they're out there. So on the left are some Rotary branded flyer examples, and you can make branded flyers in Rotary's Brand Center. And you can use those flyers as great introduction tools when you're meeting with potential new members. You can also create Rotary business cards. Rotary business cards are great because on one side you can tell people where your club meets, invite them to be a guest, and then on the back side your club can come up with some sort of branded messaging that they can use so that every club member knows at the tip of their tongue or with the handing of a business card what it is your club does and what it stands for. So there's never a question of what's Rotary or what does our club do, because you've got those materials at hand and all the members have the same messaging and the same materials. So there's 5 steps to succeed in a successful membership campaign, and it looks like this. You need to have a vision. You need to prep your image. You need to actually create the campaign and the materials. You want to follow up with potential members. It makes no use to put efforts into attracting people to your club and then forget to actually follow up with them and invite them to events and invite them to be members. And then when you do bring in new members, make sure to celebrate the success. You should celebrate that with special introductions when you do member inductions, as well as celebrating with the club when you've met successful membership goals. So membership mixers are one way you can strategically attract members. You can work from a curated list that your club's put together, or just invite the public to connect with your club that way. This gives potential members a casual way to get to know Rotarians, and you can also find out more about who they are. So this is like a large gathering one-on-one where you meet people in a social way rather than in a club meeting sort of way. Another option would be electronic billboards like the Rotary Club of Harrisburg. They have done a series of billboards in their community. And in the right community, just having a known commodity member or a known community member identified with being a Rotarian can be a viable branded marketing strategy. This club has been using the Rotary branded messaging on 31 billboards around their community to great success. Another option would be like the Rotary Clubs of Grand Prairie, where they've all come together as a group to promote Rotary with not only a large billboard, but also signage at their airport. And this attracts potential members to all the Rotary clubs, and then depending on the potential members' location, work location, availability, time of day, those member leads get distributed to the clubs that might be the right fit. But all the clubs in that area are working together on membership, on one branded membership activity. So digital signage is also an attractive marketing option. And if you think it's too expensive, well, our competitors are using it quite effectively. I don't know if you've noticed looking at the images there, but this is not Rotary. This is Lions. And so Rotary needs to step up its game. These digital signage are available to us to use just like they are to the Lions. And I suggest that clubs and groups of clubs should get together and do just this. Or why not try digital movie theater ads like District 6270?
Rotary International is an international service organization. Its purpose is to bring together business and professional leaders to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards, and to advance goodwill and peace globally. Rotary is a secular organization open to all people regardless of race, color, creed, religion, gender, or political preference. There are over 1.2 million people called Rotarians worldwide, and in Rotary District 6270, there are about 52 clubs with almost 3,000 members. Rotarians' primary motto is service above self. Join us in Rotary District 6270 as we positively impact one community at a time. Learn more at rotarywisconsin.org.
So they actually set up a website, rotarywisconsin.org, and they're a smaller district, so they have the ability to do district-wide movie theater marketing. They produced a series of these ads, but individual clubs could do this, groups of clubs could do this in certain areas, and you don't have to actually produce the ads yourself. You can use Rotary's branded materials from the Brand Center and customize them to your club.
Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Around the world, generations of leaders build new friendships and solve problems, turning great ideas into reality. Take action with us. Find out more at Rotary.org.
So this is a Rotary produced People of Action material. It's customizable with graphics and audio. There's different versions. It's not only good for movie theaters or on television, it's great to use on social media or even on your club's website. And the last strategy I wanted to mention is a local one. The Duncan Club in our district, they put on a Rotary 101 event recently that was successful for them. So they asked people to join them for pizza, hear stories of purpose, and learn what we do and why. And so this was one of the flyers that they put together. They also had online ads, and they directly connected with people, inviting them. They showed a club promo video. They talked about why they were in Rotary. They talked about their international projects. They talked about Shelter Box. And then they extended an invite for attendees to visit their next club meeting. So they didn't talk about what is Rotary. They talked about why Rotary. They talked about how Rotary worked for their lives. They talked about how Rotary worked with their family situation. And in that way, they had a successful meeting. They had about 14 guests show up and about 14 Rotarians attend. They used email and Facebook to attract attendees. And then they reminded club members that they were putting on the event. And then they paired up the potential Rotarians with current Rotarians. So everyone came there with a one-on-one person that they could connect with. So there wasn't a group of non-Rotarians and a group of Rotarians sitting at different tables. And it wasn't 18 Rotarians and 2 potential Rotarians all getting hit up with the "you should join our club" message. They came there to have pizza and drinks and learn about why these people were involved in Rotary. And then they also reminded their current members how they should act if guests showed up to a meeting. And then some of the members did actually go to meetings. They had a meeting specifically set up for people to come to. So it was a well-branded and interesting, entertaining meeting. And they got a few members of their own for their club, and they actually got one from a potential member from another club out of that event. Well, thank you again for attending the Creating a Branded Membership campaign, and I would encourage you to talk amongst your club and to work together to put together a branded membership campaign that your club or your area clubs can all do to reach those potential members that are out there. Because we know they're out there, because statistically we have not reached out to that big a population in our communities.